when we said that range is the y values, that means I'm looking at this one, right? Okay, so I need the answer choice that has these y values. So what answer choice would that be? Good. Okay, and then it asks if this is a function or not. So what determines whether we have a function or not? What can't repeat? Very good. We have to know if our x's repeat. So if I'm looking at this right here, do I have any x values that go to more than one number over there? So I must have a function. And it does ask, or if I was going to tell them why, what would I be able to tell them? Very good. All right. Okay, so now moving into today's notes, we're going to be looking at graphs and determining what those should look like for a given situation. So they tell us that the sentences below describe the motion of 5 different cars on a highway. And we're going to match each sentence to the correct graph. Okay? So, number 1 says the speed remains constant. Well, if it's constant, is it going up? Is it going down? So I'm looking at which graph? C. Very good. So this one remains constant, right? It's just going on a straight line. Okay, so I use that one. Okay, then we have that the car's speed increases slowly but steadily. So it's not going super fast, but it is increasing. So which one would that be? Very good. Just slightly going up, right? Okay. Number 3 says the car's speed increases sharply. Which one would that be, Elijah? Is your name Elijah? Which one would that be? Very good. Okay, Colton. Number 4. Good. It says that the car speed is decreasing gradually. That would be B because it's barely going down. Which means if it's decreasing subtly, we must be looking at graph. Good. Good job. All right. So looking here at number 6, it says, choose the graph that best fits the situation. It says it stayed the same, rose steadily, remained constant, and then dropped sharply. We got a lot of motion going on there. So at first, it stayed the same. So which ones of these graphs shows it staying the same at first? B does show it staying the same at first. Any others have it at the same at first? Okay. So we know it's not graph C. Okay. All right, and then after it stayed the same, it rose steadily. So it went up just a little bit. Right, that's what we see right here, right? Then it remains constant, goes flat for a little bit, and then drops suddenly. So yes, that would be graph B. All right, number 7 says it increases steadily. Well, can that be A?
No. No.
No, because that's flat, right? So it must be, so it has to be A. But it does show that. Remain constant, steady rose, steadily drops. All right, let's flip it over on the back. Okay, it gives us a little reminder here that independent variables are our x. Dependent variables, the output, are the y. It says the value of the dependent variable, our word here is depends on the value of the independent. Makes sense, right? Whatever is dependent, we got to know the independent first. Therefore, the dependent variable is a function of the independent variable. Okay, so now we're still talking about the graphs, but they also ask us to label which one is independent and which one is dependent. Okay, so it says here on number 9, to sketch a graph for the situation. It says, the air temperature increased steadily for several hours and then remained constant. At the end of the day, the temperature increased slightly again before dropping sharply. Okay, so they already have our graph labeled for us. It says it starts out increasing steadily. So what's that going to look like if it's increasing steadily? Am I going up, down, flat? Up, but just barely, right? Not super sharp. Okay, and then it says after it increases for several hours, it then remains constant. What's that going to look like? Good. Okay, then it says at the end of the day, it increases again. So I need to go up, but then it drops sharply. So what would that look like? Going down quick, right? Okay, so the independent variable is my what values? And which one of these words is on the x-axis? Time. Time. So my independent variable must be time. Therefore, my dependent variable must be, very good. Okay, so if we say that the dependent is a function of the independent, we said our dependent was temperature. While the independent was, very good. Alright. Okay, next one we just have a multiple choice question. It says that each day several leaves fall from a tree. One day, a gust of wind blows off many leaves on the tree. Eventually, there are no more leaves on the tree. It wants us to pick which one best shows that information. Huh? B, is that what you said? Yeah, because it goes and it's decreasing, then a big drop because of the gust of wind, and then they continue to go away at a slower pace. Very good. All right, then it says which statement is true. A, the number of leaves on the tree depends on how many days have passed, or B, the number of days that have passed depends on the leaves on the tree. A, right. Doesn't matter how many leaves are on the tree, time's going to pass, right? Okay. All right, last one. A balloon is being inflated with air. As more air is pumped into the balloon, the volume increases until it finally bursts. They first ask us to sketch a graph. So I need to first label my x and y axis. Okay, so we have the amount of air going in, and then the outcome is the volume, right? So which one of those works like the x? All right. Amount of air. I kind of abbreviate here, not enough room for that. And then the outcome would be the volume of the balloon. So that would be my y. Okay, so it says we start pumping air into this balloon. So what would that look like on a graph? Right. The more air we put in, the more volume, and then it pops. Straight down, right, all at once. It doesn't gradually decrease, it's just gone.
Why wouldn't it just stay?
So once it busts, there's nothing inside, right? And that's what volume is, the amount inside. There's nothing left inside. So it goes all the way down to 0 down here. Okay, good question. All right, so our independent variable, we said independent is x. What we say x was? Good. Which means my dependent is, so the blank is a function of volume first. So volume is a function of amount, oops,